Now then guys, so you join me back on the banks of the River Severn, and today I'm in Bridgnorth and it is super warm. We've got a bit of a heat wave going on. It's super toasty. It's fetching the gravy out of me already being sat here in the van, so I'm not going to be here for too much longer, but just a quick intro for you. I'm going to be taking a look at the Farthings Meadow section, which is a new addition to the BAA ticket for the 25 river fishing season onwards. £40 a year gets you a lot of water on the Birmingham Anglers Association ticket, so I really recommend it. Now this stretch is in Bridgnorth town centre. It's nice and accessible, but the river is on its arse. There's hardly any water in this stretch whatsoever at the minute, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. I'll show you where to park, how to access it, some of the pegs, and if you want to come and fish it, you'll know what to expect before you get here. Well, before we get down the stretch, I need to nip into Middle Severn angling, just pick up a couple of bits of tackle. If you're stuck for anything, you're in Bridgnorth and you need some stuff, get yourself into Middle Severn. It's right by the bridge, well worth a visit. Cracking little independent tackle shop. Well, that's me sorted, got what I need there from the tackle shop. Here's the view out over the free section in the middle of Bridgnorth. You can see the level, how clear it is just down here in the edge. We are in need of a bit of rain. Could be a bit about today, you know. The skies are looking pretty ominous. A couple of chaps over there fishing on the shingle beach on the free section in town. And there's somebody there just, you can see, next to the buttress of the bridge there on the far side. So the Farthings Meadow section, if I just bring the camera around on the downstream section here, it's just round the corner in that direction there. So we're going to head up, just follow the road here in the low town of Bridgnorth towards the Severn Valley, take the B4 treble 5 towards Highley, and it's literally probably about a quarter of a mile in that direction there towards the edge of town. Well guys, first up, let's have a look at the parking. So just down here on the left in this lay-by. Oh no, it's not ended well for you, big lad. Mr. Hedgehog has bit the dust there. So just walking down, we've got this lay-by on the left-hand side here. This is where the parking's at for this stretch. Now this lay-by is normally pretty busy. It's quite quiet today. A lot of people use this as a shortcut for a bit of cheap parking to get into town. So this is the bypass bridge, just panning the camera around. That's the view back up there towards Bridgnorth. So parking here, and then, where are we? Further down here. Right, here's the gate into the meadow. BAA sign there. Couldn't find the gate then for a minute. All right, let's get ourselves in here. And let's get away from this road noise as well. So, you got the bridge here that is carrying the bypass over the Severn, and it kind of splits the section into two halves, and the river is quite different. So on this side here, which is on the Bridgnorth town centre side, the river's quite shallow and you've got a lot of beachy pegs, and then down here on the right, as the river bears round towards the Knoll Sand section, it starts to get a bit deeper. So let's head off in the downstream direction first. So as you can see, it's a pretty well-trod path here down to the river's edge. Now this section was fished a fair bit before the BAA took it on in June 2025, so there'll be established pegs here, and yeah, the river's seen lines over recent years quite consistently, so there's a peg here that we can get at. Some dirty devil has left their bottle of water behind there. No need for doing that at all. So looking out on the river, so we can see it's swirling a little bit here. Definite bit of deeper water out in front here on the outside of this bend. And we can see there's a bit of foam line, so the flow is making its way around the outside here of this bend. And it's definitely, I can see just down in the edge here, the river and the depth drops off a bit here. So there's a peg there, you can get down to the water's edge nice and comfortably. And if we just make our way a bit further down, get some rods in there as well, and in here. So if you like fishing with some friends, hello Mama Duck, sorry to disturb you, but yeah, if you like fishing with a few mates, then you can get alongside each other here nice and comfortably. Nice social bit of fishing. There's a view upstream towards the bridge that's carrying the bypass. Right, let's leave Mama Duck alone here. Looks like someone has tried to get through there, but that's a bit of a dead end. Now, there are some other pegs a bit further down towards the bend, but to get at those, I'm going to have to make our way back up. I hate litter. It really does my head in that people dump litter on the bank. I'm going to pick that up on the way back and get rid of that and do what somebody else should have done for themselves and tuck it away. Right, so we're heading now in the Knoll Sands direction. There's a track down there. Let's get to the river's edge there, but let's get ourselves down here. So it looks like the BAA have been down here with the weed killer as well, so good to see. Paths being kept open. Okay, and this is the downstream limit. So there's the signage there. That's the end of the Farthings Meadow stretch. And again, you've got another really open peg here. It's relatively steep down to the water's edge, but it's not too bad. Now I can see the bottom down here, so you know, you could get in the water down there, stand up. Just looking back upstream, this is definitely where the deeper water is on the stretch. And just moving the camera around to the right here. So this looks all right for a bit of stick float fishing, this does. There's a real nice bit of pace to it across the front of here, and you can just run your float down, you know, a long way down there. You've got the caravan site on the far side there on the inside of the bend, and then a bit further round, that goes round towards Rob Mitchell's stretch on the inside of the bend, and then you've got the BAA's Knoll Sands section at the bottom of Cardiac Hill, just around the corner there. So there is a bit of wind about today, so apologies if that's coming through on the footage, but if you want to come for some deeper water fishing, definitely on the downstream side of the Farthings Meadow stretch, that's where you want to come to. There's at least 4 or 5 good pegs here that are well established, comfortable fishing, where you can get some lines in the water. If you want to fish 2 rods up in the air, feeder style, this is the section here that you want to come to. Or if you want to get that stick float going down the flow here on the outside of this bend, it's perfect for it here. So let's get ourselves now back up through the bridge on the upstream side towards Bridgnorth town centre. I'll show you the beachy pegs up there as well, and those up there are great for stick float fishing as well. So let's get ourselves up there now, and we'll have a look at that side of the stretch, see what that looks like. So we're on the upstream side now. We've gone under the bridge. Path's really good. It's nice easy walking underfoot. Good access here. Fair dues to the maintenance team at the BAA. So first peg here. You can get down into the bottom there, but it's really shallow. It's not really fishable until you get out into this part of the river over there, but later in the season, once the level's up a bit, then that peg could offer you something, but not so far at this time of the year with the current conditions. So let's get a bit further up. Now we're going to get down onto one of the shingle beaches in a minute to show you what it looks like down there. So here we go, here's the access. Now it gets a little bit steep here, so just watch yourself coming down here. Yeah, that was a bit sketchy. Oh dear, what is going on here? So we've had a fire, tent poles left. It doesn't look like a bivvy. Yeah, no, it's just a regular tent, that is. So it's just not what you want to be seeing on the side of the river, is it? Well, it shouldn't be happening anywhere, but particularly on the side of a river. But anyway, back on topic. This is the view out. So we've got a shingle beach here, loads of room to fish off it. The only thing at the minute though is it is really, really shallow. There's no depth. Now, I've not got the wellies on today, so I'm not going to wade out, but I could very easily get probably at least to there. I can see the bottom. Now, what this does present you with here is you've got some faster moving water coming off a crease line over there, down to some rapids, just where the shadow changes the colour of the river there, and you can run a stick float down here. And this is an area that I have fished in that method in the past, not recently I might add, but there's normally a good few chub and an odd barbel or two held up here. So ideally, it goes without saying, it wants extra water on it, but you can get right down to the edge of the water. You can get in the Severn here. There's a nice pace across all of this section. There's just no depth at the minute, that's the problem. But it's a lovely part of the river. Loads of room to trot afloat. That's the view downstream. Can't believe that. Just some people's standards just makes you wonder, doesn't it? Right, let's get back up here. Whew. Right. So this path will take you right into Bridgnorth town centre. So if you want to walk back to the bridge, or if you want to walk to the tackle shop in town, just keep going basically. There's another path there that takes you down to the same bit of shingle beach that we've just been on. Okay, let's keep going. There is another little area that you can get down to a bit further up, similar shingle beach. So let's go and have a look at that one. Sun's out and it's really starting to warm up already. It's early in the morning at the minute, but yeah, it's going to be another scorching hot day. Right, tree down here, probably remnants of last winter's floods. It's mad that we're talking about how shallow the Severn is at the minute, and then you see this, which is the opposite flip of the coin for what it does in the autumn. But you can get down to the edge here, some deeper water out here, a few shadows as well, so might be a few areas that the fish are lurking here. Bit more flow across the far side of the river there, so yeah, just something slightly different there to work with. Glorious view. Regardless of what the conditions are with the river itself, the view is fantastic. It's back downstream towards Knoll Sands again. Right, back on the footpath, heading back towards the town centre. Oh, get a bit of a jog on there down that hill. The wind is really lively. It's very welcome actually, it's just taking the edge off the heat, but it's probably not doing my footage any good. Nice house over there as well. A couple of paddocks here. Nice views out over the river. Ticking a few boxes, that one is. Okay, right. We have a BAA sign coming up on the fence line here. So, I'll show you that. So this signifies the end of the stretch. So the path there, straight down, straight to Bridgnorth town. There we go. So that's the end of the BAA's waters here at Farthings Meadow. So last section here, let's take you down here. Just give you a bit of a gawp at what's going on down here. Thankfully, no tent fires on this beach. Ooh, a bit slippy there. So as you can see, the river has retreated quite a way, and it is, I think the camera's hopefully going to pick it up, but it is so clear. I can literally see the bottom probably to the other side of that sunlight over there, which is as good as 2/3 of the way over, and it's probably about a foot deep in the majority of places. You can probably just sort of see the bottom here, but there are some deeper sections right around the far margin, and that's where the flow is. And see all those shadows over there right under the tree line. So if I was going to fish this today, I would definitely be out with my waders probably to about here, and just, let's get the finger in the right place, just trying to float down that far line over there. So if float fishing is your thing, Farthings Meadow is definitely going to be one to check out. It does want some extra water on it, without doubt, but even if the level got an extra foot on, you can still quite easily get yourself out to trot a float down. There's loads of room down this beach that you can work with, so the stretch can accommodate quite a few anglers. It's a lovely section of river just in Bridgnorth town. Great addition to the BAA's estate. £40 a year, best value river ticket there is in my opinion. What is not to like here? Well guys, that's the Farthings Meadow section. Hopefully you've enjoyed that one. I'm not actually going to be fishing today because each to their own with the conditions. I'm just going to give it a breather for a few days just to allow a bit of rain to come down. There is some forecast. By the time this video comes out, there should have been a bit of rain at the end of this week, so hopefully conditions would have got a little bit better and the levels come up a tad. It's not going to be that much rain coming down, but the most important thing is that the water temperature drops off, and that in turn will help boost the oxygen levels in the river. So make your own decisions. There's plenty of opinions on social media, Facebook, and lots of angling clubs doing closures, and I nearly slipped over then. But yeah, there's lots of angling clubs closing water, particularly on the Trent, less so on the Severn. BAA stretches are open, so you can come and fish it if you want, but I'm just going to give it a few days. But if you're looking for a new section of BAA water to fish, and if you want to do some float fishing, get yourself down to Farthings Meadow. Hope you've enjoyed that one. Good luck with your own fishing. See you back for another one again soon.